who are in support of the motion say aye, and those who are against the motion say nay. The ayes have it.
Thanks for joining us on this week's episode of the program. I am Dennis Adigunloye. Well, it was certainly an eventful week, particularly at the State House, where, as expected, President Bola Tinubu would at some point make some sweeping changes to his cabinet and other key aspects of his administration. And it is on this where we'll begin, as the 7 ministerial nominees appointed by President Tinubu will, in the shortest possible time, be screened by the Senate for confirmation, as the list has already been referred to the Committee of the Whole. President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, said this while reading the communication of the President requesting the Senate's confirmation.
While I hope that this request will receive the usual expeditious consideration of
the list
Senate.
of 7 ministerial nominees transmitted by President Bola Tinubu was read at the commencement of plenary. The screening and confirmation is in line with provisions of Section 147, subsection 2 of the Constitution. Senate has passed the bill to establish the South-South Development Commission and amended the Act establishing Development Commission in 5 other regions following the consideration of the report of the Senate Committee on Special Duties.
Yesterday we saw the creation of a new ministry known as the Ministry of Regional Development. The bill are well structured and strategically streamlined for the socio-economic development of the South-South geopolitical zone, as well as meet the yearning and aspirations of the people.
In tandem with the renewed hope mantra of this government that seeks to bring development down to the doorsteps of the people,
there shall be paid from the federal government the equivalent of 15% of the total monthly statutory allocations due to member states of the Commission from the Federation account.
I pray that these commissions, now under the Ministry of Regional Development, will augur well and bring development closer to the grassroots of this country, and then help Mr. President in the renewed hope agenda program that he has for this country for the betterment of all.
Plenary featured the adoption of a motion urging assistance to victims of flood in Delta State.
Everybody is affected. An injury to one is an injury to everybody.
Expedite the establishment of fully equipped IDP camps in the flood-hit areas.
We should also encourage cleaning of canals, which are the possible cause of this problem we have.
Senate urged the Ministry of Works to dredge and channel rivers Benue and Niger, as well as build more dams to prevent recurring flood.
The Senate said tackling the problem of out-of-school children in Nigeria requires the convergence of stakeholders to come up with comprehensive solutions. Consequently, it adopted a resolution that a national summit of out-of-school children be convened for participation by the federal and sub-nationals.
There has not been synergy or roadmap with the state government on out-of-school children.
We have billions of naira lying fallow at the universal basic education, with the state unable to come up with their own counterpart funding.
Why should we even be taking money from World Bank to fund our primary education in this country? The issue of lack of coordination between the national and sub-national levels is very critical.
Some people will say it is from federal, some people will say from the state. Coming as a former governor, I think it is from the state.
The legislators, while considering the report of the Senate Committee on Basic and Secondary Education, following an investigation it conducted on the challenge of out-of-school children in Nigeria, were unanimous that collective effort was needed to tackle the situation.
We need a total turnaround for our educational philosophy in this country.
Different levels of stakeholders need to come together to fashion out a lasting solution to this.
When you go to the lowest level, the parents, there must be reorientation.
This is clearly the future of Nigeria. And I pray that through the National Summit, the resolutions to be implemented, issues to be well highlighted, and then all efforts to be made to bring this menace to an end so that our children can have a better future and not an adulthood in banditry, an adulthood in Boko Haram, an adulthood in fraud. I thank you all.
Senate has passed the bill to establish a National Eye Center in Doma, Nasarawa State, and passed at second reading bill to establish Federal University of Education Technical in Gombe State.
With emphasis on planning, developmental and adaptive skills in education, engineering, technology, applied sciences, agriculture, commerce, arts, social science, humanities, management, and applied professional disciplines.
5 bills passed first reading, among them bill to establish Public Infrastructure Maintenance Bill.
And the Senate has set up an ad hoc committee to engage the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency over the drug-related allegations it reportedly made against Deputy Majority Leader of the Senate, Oyelola Ashiru. Senator Ashiru had its plenary in the week come up under a matter of privilege, pointing to the information that emanated from the NDLEA.
I cannot even identify what we call cannabis or any drug. Beyond taking water, I don't take alcohol. I am of opinion that for the protection of myself as a member of this Allo Chamber, for the protection of the Senate and other senators, we must do something about this.
I understand the person that went on television was even alluding to the fact that you made contributions on the floor and trying to quote what you said on the floor, the Constitution and the laws of the land. Anything you say here is privileged. It's covered with immunity.
The Senate is to carry out a thorough investigation into the frequent power outages in parts of the country with a view to finding solutions to the challenges in the sector. This was when the Senate Committee on Power engaged the Nigerian Electricity Management Services Agency, NEMSA, in continuation of its oversight to strengthen agencies in the power sector for efficient service delivery. The Senate Committee on Power notes federal government's huge investments in the sector, and there is need for sector players to step up their game and deliver reliable electricity to Nigerians. The committee is expected to submit its report by November 1st.
And Nigerians will hear from us about our feelings and our views on the matter of power outages in the country. Meanwhile, it's kudos to them. The little they're doing it well.
Look forward to more meetings like this, because it will go a long way in giving us the guidelines to be able to fulfill our mandates smoothly. And you know, the NEMSA mandate has to do with enforcement of technical standards, technical regulation, testing and certification of all categories of electrical installations across the power value chain.
Ajaokuta Steel Company Limited was established in 1979 under the then President Shehu Shagari administration with the core mandate of steel production to fast-track industrialization. At 98% completion, it became a dash hope as its early small-scale fabrication and iron rod production appears to be the only sign of life in the mega factory. Efforts of the current administration and commitment of the 10th Senate to revive the company are seen as promising. Working the company around the moribund facility, the acting chief executive, Kanwal Atongs Joseph, says the management is implementing measures despite challenge of funding and other logistics to bring life to the company's production line.
They are making efforts to put things in order.
The committee observes that at the moment, the company only carry out facilities maintenance.
We are here to ensure that we look at Ajaokuta, be able to marry the physical structures in Ajaokuta with the write-ups that have been submitted to our committee. That is why we are here.
You give an impression that everything is working. Then we will go back and tell the president, don't do anything, everything is working. And that's the mistake we have made time after time by misrepresenting the real issues on ground.
Now at a recent event to highlight some of the strides made in the oil and gas industry, President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, said that Nigeria is on course in the industry and the National Assembly will continue to work in synergy with key players in the sector. He was represented by Senator representing Cross River North, Jarigbe Agom Jarigbe.
The President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, here represented by our Amiable Secretary to Government of the Federation, Senator George Akume, CON, the Minister of Petroleum Resources, Oil, the Minister of Petroleum Resources, Gas, my own Minister, Right Honorable Ekperipe Ekpo, the Service Chiefs, the Group CEO, NMPCL, the CCE, NUPRC, Permanent Secretary, Petroleum, Minister of Petroleum Resources, invited stakeholders, ladies and gentlemen. I bring you felicitations from the National Assembly. Today marks a pivotal milestone in the development of our oil and gas industry. And I particularly align myself with this year's theme, transformation, innovation, and excellence. Transformation brings about growth. Innovation brings about future success, while excellence is a benchmark for global competitiveness. On that note, I think NUPRC is on course. And as the National Assembly, we are aligned fully with you and will support you.
And towards promoting and strengthening ties with the diaspora community, the African Diaspora Union has engaged with some legislators. And here are highlights of the interactions with Senators Ned Nwoko representing Delta North Senatorial District and Victor Ume representing Anambra Central.
The distinguished senator, you propose a bill that will to give these people access to citizenship, where there's no black nation in the world now, you don't get a freedom. There's none. We travel the African Diaspora Union, so we move everywhere to ensure this is happening. And I can tell you, all of them, anywhere they are in the world, all our executives, I can mention their names, introduce them, because we don't just, it's not this thing, we move and make sure we interact. So thank you.
Sister, for your commitment. In our history is a woman named Harriet Tubman. She escaped to freedom in the North, and then she made over 100 trips back into slavery to bring other people out. That's who we are. We plan to come 2 or 3 times a year, not once a year. And each time we come, we'll bring more of our. We started with our business connections. That's why we wanted to have people who are connected to chamber, black chambers. We'll be coming, and we'll be coming, and we'll be coming, and we'll be bringing.
Encourage people to come to Africa, to come to Nigeria through tourism, just for them to come, just to come and see, come and spend time, look around, look at what we have. You know, by the time they come and they spend a week or 2 weeks or 4 weeks and they like the place, then business comes next. But if you put business first, it can be very daunting. Yes. You know, it's very challenging.
Yes.
What my brother said, Binta has said it all. Yes. We are open here, and we want our brothers to come back home and reintegrate with us. Our sisters, all of you, you are part of us. Anybody who comes in here will not differentiate us from any of you. We are looking alike, the same color, and for us to have the synergy and the smooth linkages and operation, I will quickly bring it together with Abike Dabiri, who is the chairman of the Nigerian Diaspora Commission. She's a wonderful lady, workaholic, very passionate about developing the diaspora-Nigeria relationship. So if we're able to get it together before you go back, we develop the programs, all the things you will do will actually flow from Nigerian Diaspora Commission to me, because I oversight that commission, the NIDCOM, and I can tell you that she works very hard. If there are any things that you want us to harmonize, we shall harmonize. Yes. So that we'll be able to work as a team and be on the same table to engage the government of Nigeria. We need that. You know, so we will do that because, like Rita told you, Senator Mas told you, the commission was a creation of this parliament. We established the Nigerians in Diaspora Commission, and most things in diaspora go through that commission. There are many organizations exist anywhere dealing with diaspora issues, but for central coordination, NIDCOM, you must come into its scheme of affairs. So I will do that very quickly for you, believing that you welcome that, because that's the channel to go through. And Abike is a parliamentarian. She was here, like, say, 3 times in the House of Reps before she got into this commission to chair it on behalf of the government. She's on her 2nd term there now. So she's very experienced and knowledgeable. Mine is that I'm here for all of you, and working with Abike and all of you, your diaspora issues and interests into Nigeria, how to come in, how to go out, be able to deal with all that. The bill you're asking us to sponsor is a little thing. And it's for us to understand what the issues are for you, we articulate them, and then push it through the parliament to give it more force and make it easier for you. Because the idea is if you want to do something, let it be easier. Yes. Remove all the bottlenecks and bureaucratic bottlenecks that can hinder easy access to what you want. So once we're able to do that, when I come to your place, you host me.
From the transatlantic slavery time, 400, 500 years ago, most of them lost their identity, and there's an identity crisis, whether it is the United States or Canada or Europe or the Caribbean or South America, and most of them who have become professionals and who have become scientists and great millionaires and billionaires, but then they believe that their motherland is Africa. Because when they were carried away with a lot of abuse and a lot of disinheritance and they lost their origin. Now they are tracing back their roots through DNA. So, and we know that the epicenter of the transatlantic slavery was Nigeria.
Look, this is something we've been working on. I've been discussing with my brother here that there was need to keep up this good work they have been doing over the years. There are many Nigerians that want to support what he is doing, what they are doing, because we can't really. You can't begin to imagine the importance of this. In the next 20 years, if we continue in this manner, within the next 20 years, there could be over 2, 3, 5 million people, Africans, coming from the diaspora to invest in Nigeria, to settle in Nigeria, to visit Nigeria as tourists, and that's what we want. They must help to contribute to the growth of Nigeria, further development of Nigeria.
This is African Diaspora Union, that the umbrella body that mobilize all the African descendants in the diaspora. So we're here to ensure that he is the Senior Chairman Committee on Reparation. So to pay me a visit, and also the Senior Chairman Committee on Diaspora, to let them know what we are doing. Our organization is an umbrella body, a platform that mobilizes millions of African descendants in the diaspora.
Well, I feel very excited, very happy indeed, as the chairman of the Senate Committee on Diaspora, to receive Africans from America, who are eager to reconnect with their roots. And a lot of them came here today and they expressed their desire to reconnect with home, with their business contacts and the things they do over there in America. Some came with their children. So it's a beautiful thing to behold. Something we were going outside to look for them. They are coming on their own to come to meet with us here in Nigeria. And we have offered them immense opportunities and assured them that very huge potentials exist here in Nigeria for them. And those who want to come and do business here, that Nigeria is eager and ready to accept them, to partner with us in our development drives in their areas of expertise and endeavors in the United States of America. Some of them are involved already in funding programs. Some of them syndicate funds for big projects back there in America, and this is what we're looking for in Nigeria. So you can see that it's a beautiful meeting we have had with them, about 22 of them. There's nothing to expect than to offer them those opportunities they are yearning for, to come to Nigeria, be part of what we are doing. Those who don't want to go back again, there are processes they will have to go through to be accepted back in this country, because some of them have expressed they've done DNAs and they were convinced that some of them are Nigerians, some are black Africans as well. And those who want to come back to Nigeria, there are processes of acquiring citizenship. We're going to support them, document them, and make them available to our government for proper consideration.
That concludes Senate 109 for this week. Thanks for watching. I am Dennis Adigundoye. See you again soon.